Trying to get my stuff together here. Okay, we're over here, go to math.com, click on the algebra. Let's go down to equations. Now, this is a pretty useful section, believe it or not. There's some usefulness going on here. Solve for x. This little setup right here, especially when we're trying to convert, let's say, for example, let's say from the English system to the metric system, right? We're trying to convert inches to centimeters, or centimeters to inches, or inches to feet, or miles to centimeters. Okay. The way we've got it written right here is very useful, right, for doing such things. But we'll get to that here in a minute. Very useful. We have x over 7 is equal to 5 over 3. 5 over 3. Alright. So we have x over 7 is equal to 5 over 3. And we want to solve for x. Solve for x. Right. So what we're going to do here is just multiply both sides by 7. And as you can see, those will cancel out, and you'll have x is equal to, and of course, is there a number that goes into 3 and into 7? Well, 1's the only one. That doesn't do anything. So we can't really reduce this down any, so we'll just multiply 5 times 7, which is 35 over 3. And so there is your x. There's your x. 35 over 3. Alright. Now let me just go back here real quick, something I was talking about earlier. So for example, we know that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. And so let's say that if I had 10 centimeters, how many inches is that? You see this right here? This is x. X is the unknown quantity. And that is how many inches would that be? So if I have, we know, this is a definition here, we know that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. And if you had a 10 centimeter bar, how many inches is that? So you see, that's how useful this is, man. And now let me tell you, you can use it in a lot of cases, I did a treasure hunt just recently where this is, you were given the coordinates and this is where you started. You had to find the star, but X marks the spot as where the treasure was located. So once you found the star, okay, you could easily find X marks the spot. And on the treasure map, you knew this distance, and it was like 6 centimeters or something like that. No, let's see, wait a minute, 246, I don't know, something like that. And you could measure this distance on the map. We'll say that that's 8 centimeters. But in real life, in the real world, this was something like 1 kilometer, we'll say, right, since we're using metric. This is, so you had to actually measure the distance in the real world, not on the map. It was 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer. And so, right, so this would be like 1 kilometer over 6 centimeters is equal to, okay, so you knew this was 8 centimeters, but you didn't know what the distance was in the real world, and so that was your x. You see, so once you found this star right here, then you knew this guy right here, and these two were actually given. You'd had to get out a ruler and measure that, but then you would just solve for x. Of course, we had this angle also, which was like 100. This is not 106 degrees, I don't think, but it was like 106 degrees. So you had to measure that, but that was no big deal. But so this stuff is extremely useful, especially if you're trying to draw treasure maps. But it's a lot useful for a lot of things. Okay, so that's what I wanted to get on with that. And did we ever look up the answer on that? Yeah, we did. Alright, so we're over here, go to math.com. See you in the next problem.